Okay. And I think the screen is visible to you now. So in the last lecture, we have seen what do you mean by an ER model. ER model is the diagrammatic representation of a DBMS, which actually gives us all the represents all the entities, its attributes, the constraints which are imposed on those attributes. Constraint, I mean to say whether it's a derived attributes, whether it's a primary key, whether that is a composite attribute and all. And along with the association among the entities in the uh, diagram or in the database model. So that diagrammatic representation gives us entire thing, entire description of the database model, but it is not implementable. It cannot be implemented because how we can we are able how we can implement these diagrams. It is not definitely possible, but it gives a very clear-cut view of the database which we are going to store in our physical form. Okay, so at the beginning only we are designing the model in this way. So it is a part of design model which is describing the entire database. Okay, so here we came to know about this. We have undergone with the terminologies like entity. Entity is the real world object which is distinguishable with the help of its attribute from the similar kind of object. We have also seen attributes. Attributes mean the properties of that real world object or an entity. And the attributes are of many types: the derived attribute, multi-valued attribute, composite attribute. The attribute can be a primary key. The attribute can be a foreign key. If primary key of one entity is participating in some other entity set, that time we will call it as a foreign key. That we have seen. We have seen the term called as a relationship. Relationship is the association between two entities, association or the relationship shared by two entities. Minimum two entities. It can be three or four also participating in only one relationship. So these terms we have seen, and yes, with these terms we are going to move to a next model which is called as a relational model. Okay, relational model, which is our point of focus throughout this subject. We are going to learn about RDBMS more, that is relational database management system, more than any other model of database. Okay, ER model we are going to learn. We are going to practice it also, because that is a preliminary stage. As in a program, you are writing a flow, you are writing an algorithm, then you are drawing a flow chart, and then you are coding it. Similarly, here also you are designing something on paper, you are modeling it through ER model, and once that ER model is satisfactory, then only you are trying to implement it into any other model in the physical form. Okay, so ER model always helps us to design the database at a preliminary level. Okay, and then at a physical level, we are making use of the next model, which is called as a relational model. Okay, why it is called as a relational model? It is called as a relational model because it stores the database into a tabular format, and that James Codd was the person who proposed this design of a relational model, where the data is stored in a tabular format, and that table is called as relation. Okay, the table is called as relation in case of relational database management system, and hence it is called as a relational DBMS. Okay, that you please keep in mind. Relation, I am talking about relation. What is relationship? Is the association between two entity sets, whereas relation is the table. The table can represent anything. What it can represent? It can represent an entity, or it can also represent the relationship also. But everything will be put in a tabular format, which is called as a relation. Okay, so let us see this example. In this case, the table is also called as a relation. This word we are going to stick into. Now onwards, we are we may refer a table as a table or relation. Most of the time we are going to refer it as a relation. So a table of this type will be there. So here is the table which is describing a customer. Okay, a customer has a customer ID as the attribute, has customer name as the attribute, and status as the attribute. Okay, these are the three attributes. And this table, the first row is describing the names of the columns in the table. Names of the columns in the table. Okay, the first row. So this is called as, these are the attributes. Okay, attributes or properties. These are the attributes of relation customer. Let us name it as customer. Okay. Now these are the values of customer ID. These are the values of customer name, and these are the values of status. So this complete table is defining three entities of same type. Okay, three customers. First is Google, next is Amazon, next is Apple. These three customers are there. Every row is describing one customer. Every row is describing one entity. Hence, this relation is called as, this whole relation is called as entity set. Are you understanding me? Okay, because it is having, or it is collectively representing many entities together. Hence it is called as entity set. This particular table is known as entity set, or this particular relation is called as entity set. Okay, so this whole is the entity set. These all are attributes of those entity. Okay, each row is going to describe one entity or one real world object. Okay, now to describe it further, these columns are called as domains. These columns are called as domains. We are not going for any new concept. We are just renaming the things which are already available. What is a table? Table is a set of values. Generally, we are going to use table when we are describing many entities of same type. Like एक student का table बनाना, एक teacher का table बनाना, एक menu का table बनाना, एक relation reservation का table बनाना. So in a table we have column and we have rows. Every row describes the values of that respective column for a particular one object. So one student will be described with student name, student roll numbers, his class, his marks, and so on in a horizontal way. Okay, so attributes will be arranged in columns and entities will be arranged in the rows. That thing you need to remember. Fine. So these columns are called as domains. Columns are called as domains, and the rows are called as tuples. Columns are called as domains, rows are called as tuples. So these two, so in relational model, we are calling a table as relation, rows as tuple, and columns as domain. You'll come to know why we are referring it as a separate identities. Because it is not a normal table, it is describing something more than that. Okay, so it's the relation we are talking about. Okay, so columns are called as domains, rows are called as tuples. Every row has describes one entity. Okay, and you can say that what is the first customer name is Google. What is the name of third customer is Apple. What is the status of Amazon is active. Okay, what is the status of Apple? Inactive. At this moment, at this point, Apple is inactive. Probably it was active a month before. It may get activated after a month. Okay, so after a month, its status may change. Before a month, it was a different status, but right now, at this moment, the status of Apple is inactive. Okay, so this value is called as instance of a cell. It is called as instance of a cell. Are you getting me? So at this moment, at this instance, value of status or status of Apple is inactive. So at this instance, it is holding this cell is holding inactive value. At the next instance, after a month, it may hold active value. Okay, or so at this moment, this particular cell is having value 2. Hence, this is 2 is the instance of customer ID for Amazon or for second tuple. Okay, so again, I am repeating the things which we have just now got introduced to: the entity set, the attribute or domain or column, row or a tuple, okay, and instance. तो उस सेल में जो वैल्यू है उस वक्त के लिए it is called as instance of that cell. Okay, that may change after some time, after reading again. Fine. So this is our relational model. Anything, any doubt you have? If you don't have any, I'll proceed. If you have any doubt, you can interrupt in between and ask the doubt. This is a little descriptive model of the relational database. Now, in this case, this is the first table. First table is called as a customer table. The relation customer. Relation customer has attributes customer ID, customer name, customer street, and customer city. So these are the domains of customer. These are the domains of customer. Now, why domain? Why domain? We called it as a domain because it not just tells what is the name of that attribute, but it also describes the actual variable name, its domain type or data type, and as well as the constraints imposed on that. That is why we are not simply calling it as a column, we are calling it as a domain. Domain describes three things: its name, its type, and its constraints. Okay, that means if I am saying customer ID, customer hyphen ID is the name of that domain, probably an alphanumerical data type it is using, and as considering it as a primary key, it cannot be null. It can never be null. This is a constraint on it. Are you understanding? So three things it is describing. The second domain, customer name. Second domain, customer name is again customer hyphen name is the name of that. Its data type is string or character array, and probably there is no constraint, but I make sure that it is not null. If customer ID is there, there has to be name with that customer. Fine. It has to be named with that customer. So it is called as a domain because it describes number of things together. It is not just a column name. Okay, that's why we are not saying it as a column. We are saying it as a domain for the relation. Okay, so here is the customer relation, has 4 domains: customer ID, customer name, customer street, and customer city. I am assuming that customer ID is a primary key for that, and I am also assuming that customer name at least should not be null. Rest may or may not be null. Okay, so what it is describing? It is describing number of customers. It is describing 7 customers: customer Johnson, Smith, Hayes, Turner, Jones, Williams, and Smith. Okay, So the first row is describing the customer Johnson, what is his customer ID, what is his street name, and in which city he stays. Customer row number 3 describes his with the same attribute. So these tuples, these are the each tuple is describing one customer. What is a customer? What is a customer? Customer is an entity. Customer is a real world object which can be described with some properties. So this is called as, so customer relation is a entity set. It is describing the entity customer. Okay, it is holding the values of entity customer. So Smith is right now staying in the city Ray. He may get shifted and may move to some other country or city. At that time, his customer city instance will change. Right now, instance of customer city for Smith is Ray. Instance of customer city for Jones is Harrison. It is there. It is possible. Okay. So customer relation. Next relation is account relation. Account is having very few domains, only two domains, customer number and its balance. Sorry, account number and its balance. Okay. So A101 is having balance 500 at this instance. It may change to 400 or may change to 600 in other instance. Okay. So account number and balance are the domain names for account, and it is describing an account. What is its number and what is its balance? So customer is one entity, account is another entity. When customer opens an account in a bank, account is owned by a customer. Okay, our customer owns an account, but we have account numbers, we have customer names, the customer information. So account is also an entity set. Okay, so account is also an entity set. Now coming to the third relation, the depositor relation over here. The depositor relation. Coming to the depositor relation. Now it is again having two domain types. They are described. It is also having an instances. But what is the difference between the previous two and this one?
This
Here
table
yes,
is a combination of previous two. It is combination of primary keys of previous two.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I can find customer ID somewhere in this table, and I can also find customer account number somewhere in this table. So this is not describing any particular entity, but it is associating two entity sets, and hence this becomes a relationship set. Okay, this becomes a relationship set. The relation depositor is a relationship set. Account and customer are entity sets, and the depositor associates or forms a relationship between account and customer. Okay, now you can very easily see this customer 7465 is owning account 101. I am just reading the last four digit. Customer number 3746 is owning 215. Who owns 217? 3123. But is it enough information? No. Who is the owner? What is the name of the owner of account 217? Owner of account 217. What I'll do? I'll check this 217. Who is the owner? Customer with customer ID 3123 is the owner of 217. I'll just find out in this list who is 3123. 3123 is Jones. So Jones is the owner of 217, account number 217. What is the account balance for Smith? What is the account balance for Smith? I cannot get it from first table. But balance is given in account table, Smith's name is given in customer table. I can use this relationship set to get that data. Well, how I can get? What is the customer number of Smith? 3746. 3746. Which account 3746 owns? 3746 owns 215. Okay. And what is the balance of 215? Balance of 215 is 700. Okay. So now, what is the balance of account balance of Smith? Account balance of Smith is 700. How I got? I got the customer ID with the help of customer ID. I got its account number. With the help of account number, I am getting its balance. But what I find, Smith also has one more account, is 201. 201's balance is 900. So in total, he owns or he has a balance of 1600 rupees. So this way, a relational model is designed. A relational model has entity sets. Relational model has relationship sets, and definitely these tables can very easily be physically implemented as a 2D array or as a structure array or something like that. Right? So this is a model which can be implemented. Which can be implemented in a similar way. We are describing actually what is the description of this? Its description is very simple. It has a customer relation, it has an account relation, and these two relations are connected together with the help of depositor relation. Okay. So this is a ER diagram for this. Here, of course, its attribute and all will be there that you can describe. Okay. So this is a relational model example. We'll proceed if you don't have any doubts. If you have any doubts, you can definitely ask. This is the actual implementable model, and now you can see how it can be represented. This is not a ER diagram. This is a association diagram which we are drawing. I'm just giving you an example. One project is there. It has some members. These members will be persons. Department. There are departments. There are members in the department. We have some entity. We have some organization. Okay, this is a whole description. How I can get the description of this? Organization has department. Department has members. Department has projects also. Okay, and department. What department does? The department assigns a few persons for a project. Okay, so here I can say project is one entity, person is another entity, and I am forming a relationship among the two. Okay, a person is working on a project in some role. Okay, so what you can observe is project ID. Here it is not written. We should have a project ID. We should have a project ID over here. So the project ID and person ID taken from this table, project ID taken from this table, and forming one association, that is a relationship set. Here also you can observe that what thing you can observe is the primary key of customer table and primary key of account table are the part of depositor table or a depositor relation. Okay, because it is an association between the two. So primary key from both the participating entities will become default attribute for the relationship set. Okay, these are the default attributes. It can have its own attribute, but by default, primary key of both the accounts, both the relations will become part of the relationship set relation. Okay, and with that, I can say that customer ID as well as account number is a primary, is a foreign key for this relation. I know if I know any one of them, I can get the other information. I know customer ID, I can get account number. I know customer account number, I can get the customer ID. Okay, and other details also. So both it becomes the primary key of one table. When used in another relation, another table, it becomes a foreign key for that table. So similarly, yes.
सर
हाँ
सर पिछले वाले स्लाइड में
क्या क्या
पिछले वाले स्लाइड में जाइए
हाँ
सर इसमें जब जो डिपॉजिटर्स टेबल है उसमें
हाँ।
हमको ये तो फॉरेन की हो गया तो हमको प्राइमरी की भी एक बनाना पड़ेगा ना सर इसमें
नहीं
ताकि हम
नहीं
जब दो
बनाना पड़ेगा इसमें। ये इसीलिए मैंने डिफरेंस बताया कि ये एंटिटी सेट में हम लोग प्राइमरी की रखेंगे और रिलेशनशिप सेट तो आज अभी ये है, अब बाद में दूसरा बन सकता है, इसकी जरूरत नहीं हो तो। सो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैव अ प्राइमरी की, both will act as a primary key for us. What for we make use of a primary key? कोई तो भी एक यूनिक आईडी चाहिए जो सभी को डिफरेंशिएट करे, बराबर है।
हाँ
और दूसरी चीज तो वो नल नहीं रहना चाहिए उस वक्त में कभी। इट शुड नॉट बी नल एनी टाइम,
यस
right? Otherwise we'll miss that data, we won't be able to access that data. In this case, if I know customer ID, I can get account number, and if I know account number, I can get customer ID. So I can have any value null in this case because it's a relationship set. ठीक है, मेरे पास मिनिमम इंफॉर्मेशन से मैं दूसरी इंफॉर्मेशन निकाल सकता हूँ, तो इसमें प्राइमरी की नहीं रहेगा। ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेंबर, इन रिलेशनशिप सेट we will have only foreign keys, will not have a primary key. Okay, but again this design is not final, we may have some modification, we have many more attributes in the relationship set and some of the attribute may be strong enough to act as a primary key. That may be a scenario, but right now in this case we need not to define a primary. Okay,
यस सर
so here also the similar case, project and person are the participating entity sets, hence project members has both the primary keys, not a both are foreign keys, not a primary key. And you can observe that here we have one additional attribute, that is role. So what role this person is playing for this project? He is a designer, developer, administrator, leader, manager. What role he is playing is described separately, which is an individual attribute of this relation, this relationship set. That is a relation. Okay, so this way we can describe one relational model. This way also you can describe the relational model. There is no issue. Here you can see, I'm just giving you different examples. Here we have an employee information, employee number, his name, DOB, gender, date of joining, designation, basic, PAN, SC number, D number, all these things are there. Okay, D number is the department number, and probably SC number may be his some different code it may be taking. Now you can see that an employee has dependent. So that information is also stored with the employee number is enough for me. I need not to write name of the employee here. Employee number 101 has a dependent whose name will be described here. His gender, date of birth, and the relationship with the employee. Maybe his mother, father, wife, son, daughter, whatever is there. Now I can say is with one employee, I may have more than one dependent. He may have wife, 2 children. He may have mother, father, that is parents also dependent on him. So one employee may have number of dependents, but one dependent will have only one employee associated with it. So one to many and many to one is the relationship which can be defined. Now this employee number is appearing here. In work scene also it is appearing here. Okay, work scene is describing this employee number is working for this project. This is a primary key of project. This is a foreign key of project. Okay, employee number is the primary key for employee, and works in it becomes a foreign key. तो अब एक कुछ चीजें हम लोग इसमें देखने की कोशिश करते हैं. Employee number and its skills. This skill can either be added here or it can be separately maintained. Department name is described. So in this case, what are the entities? Can you tell in this case which are the entity sets? Yes, can anyone answer? Which among these are the entity sets? Employee, yes, employee is one entity set. Anyone else? पुष्कर, आप अभी आप आंसर मत करो. Works.
Dependent is another entity set.
Dependent is another entity set. I'll just write here. Now I will ask someone. चलो कितने लोग सोए और जाग रहे हैं वो देखते हैं हम लोग. So can I get the answer from let's say Ritik Mishra?
Yes sir.
हाँ, अगला एंटिटी सेट बताओ आप इसमें.
Sir, P name.
P name. P name is an attribute. Is a property, है ना? मुझे एंटिटी चाहिए. एंटिटी मतलब पूरा ऑब्जेक्ट जिसकी प्रॉपर्टीज रहेगी बहुत सारी.
Sir, department.
Kartika, you answered. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Department is another entity set. You are right.
So project.
Sir, project.
Employee skill.
Right. Very good. और कुछ बचता है?
Employee skill.
Employee skills. Employee skills. Yes. और इसमें अभी रिलेशनशिप सेट कौन सा हो गया?
Works in.
Yes, it is clearly identified that works in is the relationship set. Okay, these are the clear entity sets and relationship sets. But you can also establish the association between various entities through the entity sets themselves. In the sense, see here, a department is your entity set, but this department number is appearing in project and also it is appearing in employee, right? So department D number is appearing in employee as well as project number. So this is also a kind of association they have with each other. They have with each other. Okay, they are not described as a separate relationship set, but they are taking each other's prime attributes as a foreign key in them. Okay, so it is possible. Here also E number is appearing in dependent as well as employee skill as well as department, but these are not full-fledged relationship sets. Only full-fledged relationship set which we have here is works in, which is associating employee number with a project, okay, along with its own attributes, that is DW, in time and out time. Okay, so these are its own attributes along with the primary keys of participating attribute, that is project, that is P code, and E number from employee. So this works in is the only full-fledged relationship set, but again with the help of department number, department is associated with project and employee. Okay, and that is why we are not mentioning the department number in project, sorry, in works in, because it is already P code के साथ वो D number आ ही जाएगा. I can get D number with the help of, thus we are reducing the redundancy, the main issue which we are facing in case of file. And in case of dependent and employee skill, These are entity sets. You are right, but these are weak entity set. Why weak entity set? Because they don't have their own strong primary key. How? If I am removing employee number from this table, what will happen? D name, DOB, gender relationship. In any way, I cannot associate it with any of the employees. है ना? वो उस डेटाबेस में ही वो एसोसिएट नहीं हो रहा अगर उसमें एम्प्लॉय नंबर नहीं रहता. So or here also, if I am removing entity employee number, only skill cannot describe anything. Unless until there is something also कि इसका ये skill है. So if employee number is not present in employee skill and dependent, then at that time these two entity sets doesn't mean anything. They don't have their existence. They are fully dependent on employee. Both of them. That's why they are called as weak entity set. These are called as weak entity. They may exist. They will be weak entity set if they are not dependent on or they are not controlled by primary key of any other set. Okay. So you are right. Whatever you have answered is very correct. You have identified the entity sets as well as relationship sets properly. But these are the few additions which we need to also take care of.
सर तो ये कंक्लूड किया जा सकता है कि रिलेशन सेट जो रहेगा वो उसमें मल्टीपल प्राइमरी कीज रहेंगे तो उसको रिलेशन सेट कह सकते हैं.
हाँ, टू सम एक्सटेंट हम लोग इसको पूरी तरह से फॉर्म नहीं रहेंगे उसको. लेकिन हाँ, अगर दो पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं तो कम से कम 2 प्राइमरी कीज उसमें रहेगी, 2 फॉरेन कीज रहेगी. हम लोग प्राइमरी की नहीं बोलेंगे उसको.
वहां पे प्राइमरी की बोलेंगे उसमें प्राइमरी की नहीं बोलेंगे लेकिन
वर्क्स में 2 प्राइमरी कीज रहेगी पार्टिसिपेटिंग एंटिटी सेट्स की.
ओके
है ना? जैसे वर्क्स इन में प्रोजेक्ट का प्राइमरी की रहेगा और एम्प्लॉय का प्राइमरी की रहेगा. उसके प्रीवियस केस में यहाँ पे प्रोजेक्ट का और पर्सन का रहेगा. उसके प्रीवियस केस में कस्टमर का और अकाउंट का रहेगा. तो हाँ, हम इस तरीके से कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं कि कम से कम 2 फॉरेन कीज उसमें रहनी चाहिए जो कि पार्टिसिपेटिंग एंटिटी की प्राइमरी कीज हो. तो हम उसको रिलेशनशिप सेट बोलेंगे, फुल फ्लेज्ड रिलेशनशिप सेट बोलेंगे. ठीक है. हाँ, इस केस में यहाँ पे डिपार्टमेंट और डिपार्टमेंट में यहाँ पे एम्प्लॉय नंबर आ रहा है लेकिन उसको फुल फ्लेज्ड एंटिटी सेट नहीं, रिलेशनशिप सेट नहीं बोलेंगे. डिपार्टमेंट अपने आप में एक एंटिटी सेट है वेयर 1 फॉरेन की इज प्रेजेंट.
यस
है ना? हाँ, अब इसमें एक चीज भी हमें ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी. इफ एम्प्लॉय लीव्स द जॉब, it is not only that I am going to delete the row of employee number. I need to modify wherever employee number is appearing. I need to modify all the tables. Thus, we need to maintain the consistency and integrity part of a database. Okay. So this way, we can have a different relational model. And now we are. I'll just close with this example. Yes.
Sir, can you please explain one more time why DNO is not a relationship set in the previous slide?
Why DNO is not a relationship? Yes. Department department is a entity set because it is describing one object. It is describing one object, that is a department. Okay. So that's why when I'm talking about this as an entity set, employee number is appearing here as a foreign key. It is showing the relation or association between employee number and department, but it is also describing a separate entity. Here दूसरा प्राइमरी की कोई नहीं है. यहाँ पे एक ही एम्प्लॉय नंबर प्राइमरी की आ रहा है बाहर से. यहाँ पे डिपार्टमेंट नंबर से ही हम लोग इसको एक्सेस करने वाले हैं. डिपार्टमेंट नंबर विल बी अ प्राइमरी की. That is why it is not a full-fledged relationship set. अगर मैं इसमें डिफरेंस अगर देखोगे आप डिपार्टमेंट और वर्क्स इन में, we have a difference that here it doesn't have its own primary key. I cannot take in time, out time as a primary key, but it has its own primary key. So it is just describing employee number along with that, and vice versa is also true. Here, employee is working in a department. Okay, but it is an entity set, and this is also an entity set. Here we have both the keys as foreign keys. Here we have its own prime attribute. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Someone raised hand. This is over again.
Sir, can there be more than one relationship set?
Yes, yes, we can have n number of relationship sets, depending on the purposes, depending on different purposes. है ना? एक मैं अभी अगला एग्जांपल देता हूं तो आपका डाउट उसमें क्लियर होगा. ये दिस इज अ एग्जांपल ऑफ बैंकिंग स्कीमा व्हिच वी आर गोइंग टू यूज फर्दर इन द ऑल एग्जांपल्स ऑफ एसक्यूएल. So this particular thing you always keep with you for ready reference, because all the queries which we are going to implement on this banking database. Okay, this is a full-fledged, well-tested database. Is an example taken from Quarth only. So we are going to solve all the queries on this. So here we have 6 relations and relationship. Don't get confused. These two are totally different things. Here we have 6 relations, means 6 tables. Okay, so here we have the first table as branch, which is describing the branch with its name, the city in which it is located, and the assets it has, the bank capacity or bank liability. The second is, so here I can assume that primary key as branch name. Customer name, I have a customer relation. We have customer name, customer street, and the city. So I am considering customer name as a primary key. If customer ID is there, I consider that as a primary. We have depositor as third relation, which is having customer name and account number as the attributes. We have borrower, which has customer name and the loan taken by that customer, loan number which is borrowed by that customer. We have account relation with account number, branch name, and balance. And we have loan relation with loan number, branch name, and balance. From which branch it is taken, and what amount of loan he has borrowed. Account number, in which branch the account is there, and what is the balance of that account. Now these are the 6 relations. Can any one of you tell me which of these are entity sets and which of these are relationship sets? Whether branch is an entity set or a relationship set?
Entity.
Is an entity set. Okay. What about customer? Is entity. उसमें कुछ ज़्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. What about depositor?
Relationship.
Is a relationship set because it is relating customer and account. Okay, so customer is a relation entity set, so is account. Am I right? What about loan?
Entity.
Relationship set.
Loan is a relationship set. Okay, why? Sakshi?
Sir, it is having loan number and branch name is the primary key of branch, and customer loan number is attribute of loan only. It is loan only.
Okay. It will be an entity set because it is describing one loan.
Yes.
The way account is describing one account, loan is describing one loan. Only thing is it is taking branch name as the foreign key because a loan can be borrowed from a branch or an account can be opened in a branch. Just like domain number, department and employee. So these two are the entity sets, and borrower
Relationship.
is a relationship set. So here we have 4 entities and 2 relationships. Okay, 4 entities and 2 relationships. So here customer and account are associated using depositor. So we have customer name and account number. Loan and customer are associated using borrower. Okay, So these one customer, depositor, loan account and borrower become the part of DBMS. And how branch is becoming the part of DBMS? Because the branch is branch names, branch primary key, that is branch name is used in account as well as loan. So branch is associated with account and loan and subsequently with customer, because the customer owns account or borrows a loan. So branch is also a participating entity set. Okay, participating entity set. Fine. So this is a description. These are the instances which are written, and we are going to use these tables further. You keep a screenshot of this if you want, or this is very much available. But keep this handy, so that in the next lecture when we'll start with queries, we are going to refer to this. So this way I can describe that diagram as a, describe that diagram as a ER diagram for that. Like here, account is associated with customer using depositor. A loan is associated with customer using borrower, and branch is associated with loan with some relationship, because branch name is appearing in loan, and account is associated with branch because branch name is appearing in account. तो यहाँ पे ER diagram में आप एक ध्यान दे सकते हो, branch name is appearing only here, and here it is not mentioned. In account or loan it is not mentioned. We are assuming that the primary key is going to participate here in this. Okay, so this is a ER diagram for this banking example. Okay, so this is all about a relational model. I hope you have understood, but I'll request you to recall each and everything, because this is a very basic. If this is not understood, you'll be totally blank with the further discussions, because we are now going to take this relational model for solving the queries using SQL and relational algebra. For your information, okay, see here, this diagram is there, which is further a huge description of your banking schema, but we'll use it later. And you are going to learn now, based on this discussion, you are going to learn about the query tools and languages like relational algebra, structured query language, tuple relational calculus, domain relational calculus, QL and QB. These are different tools and languages which you are going to learn in our further discussions. Primarily, first we will take structured query language, and then we will move to relational algebra. And once you are comfortable with these two, we are going to move for the further discussions. Okay. And next thing which you can remember is, please take the notes whatever I am talking about, because I am not using complete detailed PPTs. Whatever I am discussing, you must please try to note them down, so that you will be able to recall the things very easily. Otherwise, recording of this will also be available if you want to revisit the lecture. Fine. So please revisit this lecture. Try to recall many things, so that in the next lecture we'll be starting with solving of queries. Okay. Or if any doubts, we can discuss further first, and then we'll move to that particular discussion. Okay. So this is all from my side. You can leave, or if you have any doubts, you can stay back and ask. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.